watching. You are watching.
You're watching. You guys are watching.
You're watching Soulful Discussion.
So hi, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. So how did our paths cross today? How did we just meet right now?
Walking. Just walking by.
Absolutely. And what did I approach you about?
YouTube questions.
Absolutely. And it's for my YouTube channel. And what's my channel about? What am I going to be talking to you about? What are the 3 topics I gave you?
You said about personal. Oh, hold up. Personal opinions.
It's your personal opinions
about how people feel. You said how people feel.
How women feel.
How women feel. Something about feet.
What was the other 2 things?
I don't know.
That's what stuck out in your mind.
Yeah.
That's all right. So it was mental health and reflexology
there
as well. Go. Okay. So in terms of mental health, are there any topics that you kind of follow, you research, you kind of know about, anything like that?
Not that I follow up with, but I think if you're on social media, everyone always talks about depression.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like that's number 1.
Yeah.
Being depressed all the time.
Depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
So, those are actually topics we're going to discuss today.
Okay.
And there's actually a method that I found that helps out with that. So I'm going to talk to you about it. You let me know what your thoughts are. If you agree with it, you disagree. Once we get there, okay?
Okay.
What about reflexology? Are you familiar? Ever heard of it?
Not really.
You probably have. I find that most people
don't know what it is.
They just don't know what the term is. So maybe you know what it is. Once I start to discuss it, you'll probably be like, yeah, I know what that is. So we'll discuss that once we get there, okay? So let's start with the questions. What's something you like that other people might find to be weird? And I'm using the term weird for a reason. Maybe it's a hobby you have or a way you eat your food or something like that.
I don't like mixing my food.
Okay.
That's one.
Okay.
Like some foods, yeah. Some foods, no. Okay. Like the whole Thanksgiving.
Give us an example.
Mix your.
Oh, you talking about like mixing like the mashed potatoes with the turkey and stuff? Like,
no, can't do that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because some people make sandwiches and stuff like that, right? They put the whole thing together.
Yeah, no.
You're not doing it.
No,
okay.
Can't do it.
All right, got it. Has anyone ever made you feel insecure about your body or body part?
I feel like, yes, it happens to everyone.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, whether you want it to affect you or not, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Now, do you still deal with that right now, or do you kind of have a control over it now? It doesn't bother you as much?
I feel like now when you get older, it doesn't bother you as much. It's more like a whatever, they're gonna talk anyway type of thing. But when you're young, whether you like it or not, it's gonna affect you.
Mainly because you don't have like a reference point, right, to like understand like whatever it is you're going through. You're kind of like trying to grow, so I can understand that. So how did you get to that point in your life where now it doesn't bother you? What steps did you take?
How did I get there? Yeah. Let's see. Good question. I feel like you just have to accept yourself. That's
self-love.
Pretty much it. Self-love. If you don't if you don't love yourself, you're not gonna feel like anyone else loves you. So that's how it starts.
That's good. Great. Thank you. If there was one thing you could change about yourself, it doesn't have to be physical. Whatever you want it to be, what would you change?
What would I change about myself? That's a good question. Okay. I feel like I would change just the way I go on, like, how can I put this? Like how I approach things. I feel like sometimes you approach things a certain way and then you go home and you're like, okay, I should have done this. Or like, I should have acted this way.
Got it.
Or like, when you put scenarios in your head and you're like, I should have said this.
Yeah, it's like after the fact, you're like, dang, I should have said this and it's already too late, right?
Yeah, so you're like...
So you wish you had probably like a better ways to approach situations or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's get into these questions. I'm interested to see how you feel about
this.
What are your thoughts about your feet? How do you feel about it?
My feet? I like my feet, but I feel like they're the average size. I feel like every girl has my size shoe.
So like 8?
No, I'm like a 6.5.
What? That's not average. I feel like 8 is like average size for women.
Because for men, it turns into like a 4.5 or a 5.
That's true.
The shoes are always sold out.
That's true.
That's what I would change about my foot. I would make it a size that no one has it.
Oh, okay. But for the most part, you like them. You think?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever received any compliments before about your feet? Anybody say
Yeah.
Okay. We're talking about men or women?
Men.
Men. How did that make you feel? Getting a compliment from a man about that? How does it make you feel?
I mean, a compliment's a compliment, but then again, it's like, it's not something you...
It's not common?
It's not common to compliment someone's feet, so you're just like, thanks?
Yeah. So, and here's what I would say, right? So let me challenge you with that, right? Because let's say somebody approached you, a guy approached you, and he said you had nice hair, you had nice eyes, your hands were nice, whatever. Is that different?
Kind of.
Why?
Because I mean, your hair, everyone sees it. Your hands, like people talk
But
with
if
their
you're
hands.
wearing you're wearing open toe shoes and you happen a guy walks by and he says, "Oh, you have nice feet." Like, I'm not saying he says anything after that. He just says that and he keeps going. That's still
true.
Yeah, because it's still like because
compliment.
here's what I always ask when women say that to me. They're still pointing out something, right? If I point out your hair, your eyes, I'm still looking at something and saying, "Oh, this looks nice."
I feel
So
like
what's the
feet
difference
is
in
just
that?
something people don't really look at.
But it's because of a society thing, right?
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who are into feet.
Yeah.
Like, that's a thing for them. And I'm gonna tell you right now, there's levels to it, right? So you have like feet admirers who just like women who have like nice nails and they just like the aesthetics of it. And you have some people who may take it a step further. But it's like that with everything, right?
Yes.
So anything that you can look at in life, like there are some people who like are right here, and then there's some people who take it a step further, right? All right, so in terms of compliments you receive, not just about your feet, but in general, right, from men and women, is there a difference in how you feel about those compliments, or do you feel the same?
Like when girls compliment?
Yeah.
Yes,
Versus
I
men.
feel like when girls compliment you,
Uh-huh.
it's more like it feels better.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, like a girl's complimenting you, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I did something right, you know?
And
But
it's
when a
running
man's
thing.
complimenting you, you're just like, okay, like,
Oh wow, like what does he want?
yeah, like what do you want? Like, what's the next question?
And this is a running theme on my channel. So the women I interview, I'd say at least 85% say the same thing you said.
It's true.
And it's like, and it's crazy because it's like from the outside you're like, oh well, wow, does that really happen? So to be able to hear women say it over and over again, I'm hoping that the guys who watch my channel will be like, oh damn, let's start to give compliments and just mean them. Like, you know, it doesn't have to go anywhere. I don't have to like want to date you or nothing. Just say, you look nice today, and I just want to tell you that. And keep going, because we don't know how that can like improve somebody's day. Maybe they're having a bad day, and just hearing that compliment could just make them feel better. So
That's
I
true.
get what you're saying.
Yes.
What would your thoughts be if you started to date somebody who's into feet? I don't know what your dating situation is now, but if you started to date somebody who's into
I mean,
feet,
I wouldn't mind it as long as they don't make you like.
Okay,
like
let me
a
put
fetish
context. Let me
type
put
of thing.
context behind it. So he likes you for you as a whole, right? Totally loves you, but he likes feet, and he would want to like give you foot massages, rub on your feet, kiss on your feet, smell your feet. Like, would you be okay with
Go
those
for
things?
it, just not in public.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing women say. Not in public, but it's okay at home. So cool, you would be receptive to it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. When you first start dating someone, when is the appropriate time to bring up the things that you're into, and not just sexually, but mentally, emotionally? When should you guys have that talk about like, hey, this is what I like?
I feel like it just depends on how fast you're taking things, how comfortable you're with each other.
Okay.
Like when you first start meeting each other, it's like normal things, I guess. But once you start getting really like united or something, it's like, all right.
It changes, right?
Yeah, like
okay.
This is what's up with me. Like I really like feet. And it's like, okay, you either like it or you don't.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I find from a lot of women, like, so I get different steps. Some are like, I want to know early on, because that way you get it out the way. And you, is this person for me or not? Like, and if they're not, you can move on. Some say that they want some time, and then I had one girl who told me like she would want to wait until they're official, and I'm like, I feel like that's way too late, because by the time you're official, it's
official.
Yeah, and it's like, what are you gonna do now? Like, you don't like something about this person, you're just gonna drop them, like that's it.
So you see, once you start liking someone, I feel like you let more things slide.
Yeah, you accept more things because like you're merging together, right?
So it just depends. I feel like how fast you're taking things.
Absolutely.
That's
Cool.
what I was saying.
All right. So how often do you get pedicures?
Probably like two.
Every 2 weeks.
I said every two. I said two. Like every 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Have you ever heard of a medical pedicure before?
Medical pedicure? No.
Yeah. So it's for it's podiatrists, right? So you can go see a podiatrist who will like take a look at your feet. They look at your nails to make sure they grow correctly. Take a look at your toe alignment. They make sure you don't have dead skin, fungus. It's the cleanest you could get. So you go to a nail salon.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not clean. Sometimes they cut your nails the wrong way. You end up with ingrown toenails. Podiatrists know everything to do, and they do everything there.
I didn't even know that's a thing.
Yeah. And this is something when I was going on doing these interviews, a woman introduced this to me because I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, wow. I was like, really? So I've been sharing the information because a lot of the women I talk to, they're like, man, I would love to go get something like that done. It's just like, you know, the feeling must be great. So there you go.
Now
That's
I
a
know
freebie.
about it. That's a freebie.
Absolutely. How often do you wear like open toe shoes, sandals, flip flops, things like that?
When it's summer, more often.
Okay.
So I would say maybe like once a week. When I'm in my house, I mean, I'm always
probably more
barefoot, like in slides or something.
That was my next question. Like,
yeah,
do you
but
go barefoot?
no, I feel like when I'm in public, I'm always wearing like closed toe.
Okay. Have you ever heard of like grounding and earthing?
The what?
Grounding and earthing. Have you ever heard of that before? It's like when people feel like when their feet are touching like the grass, the dirt, the sand, they get energy back from the earth. It makes them feel most
my
alive.
dad was telling me that. My
It's
dad was
grounding.
sick and he wanted to go to the beach so bad and just feel the sand. Like the doctor told him to like feel the energy or something.
Yeah, it trust me, it makes a difference. Like, think about it this way, right? When you were born, were you born with shoes and socks?
No.
Okay. And even as a kid, sometimes like your funnest times, like when you don't think about it, you're like running around without shoes and socks on, you just having fun, right? You feel free. It's the same thing, like just in normal life. We just sometimes forget about it because we're dealing with life. So just being able to kind of like unplug and just let yourself feel centered and grounded, it's really important.
That is true.
Cool. And so now, can we see what your feet look like up close?
No!
Why not?
Because I'm shy.
That's okay.
No.
You've come this far.
It's coming the second week, so I need to get my toes done.
That's okay. So it's not even about that. This is one of those things. Oh, leave your socks on. Leave your socks on. Leave your socks on. Take the other one off, and then let's get you to put them up here, okay? Alright. And you got the Nikes there.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And the different color socks. What kind of socks are these?
I don't know. They're supposed to be like fake Fendi.
Okay. All right, and now you can remove your socks. Okay?
I'm scared.
It's gonna be okay.
No, it's not. I haven't done my toes.
It's gonna be okay. Let's see.
You see?
Oh,
That's
it's okay.
ugly.
It's okay. See, you got the new little anklet there.
Yeah, I have an anklet. You see, I haven't done my toes.
It's okay. We're not here to judge.
Going on that 2.5 week.
All right. So, and let me get you to extend your feet out. Like, put them up so we can see your soles. All right. And how are you feeling so far? We're going through this process. We're taking a look at your feet.
A little awkward, but I mean,
why are you feeling awkward? Because it's like not normal, right?
Yeah.
Leave your feet out. We're gonna go through a couple more exercises. So it's not normal, but how are you coping with it right now? How are you dealing with it?
It's the fresh air.
Okay.
So
It must feel good,
the whole
right?
school day in.
There you go. So let's talk about the mental health, right?
Okay.
What got me started in this, right? So during quarantine, I was watching a guy's channel and he was talking about DBT. Are you familiar with that term?
No.
Okay. So do you have a therapist by any chance?
I don't.
Okay. So it's dialectical behavioral therapy. Okay.
Okay.
So it's for people who suffer from like anxiety, depression, people who tend to like not live in the moment, right? So they overthink the situations they're presented with. So let's say, for example, you had a fear of approaching strangers. Therapists would prescribe for you to go out and approach strangers and do it over and over again, right?
Okay.
It's exposure therapy. It's supposed to get you used to that uncomfortable feeling that comes each time. And when you're in that moment, you start to feel uncomfortable. You're supposed to cope with it. Do a self-assessment. Ask yourself, what's the worst that's going to happen to me in this situation, right? And if there's not anything you can find that's going to threaten your life or your safety, do the opposite of what the negative emotions are telling you to perceive, because you could experience like good events, good moments, things like that, right?
Yes.
So, like, even in this situation right now, we're going through this as an exercise. We know your toes are not done, but what's the worst that's going to happen to you in this situation? What's the absolute worst thing that could happen?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Someone could steal my shoes.
Well, no, we're not going to let anybody do that. But, yeah, so like, the absolute worst thing that could happen is, what, somebody says that, oh, she's got chipped nails or whatever. How does that, bother you at all, right?
It doesn't.
Easy to go get your nails done,
Yeah.
right?
Easy fix.
Exactly. So, what are your thoughts about DBT and like kind of like overcoming fears and anxiety?
I feel like
that?
that's good. I mean, it helps people beat their fears. So I mean,
yeah,
go for it. If you're not gonna die off of it, try it.
There you go. So, let's talk about the reflexology now. Reflexology, like I said, you're probably familiar. Let's talk about it. So, it's about the different pressure points you actually have in your hands and your feet, right? You have all these different pressure points, nerve endings. They actually lead to other parts of your body. So through massage, acupuncture, acupressure, you can actually alleviate stress and tension to different parts of your body. So if you're somebody who deals with migraines, there's a portion of your foot you can massage to alleviate the tension that you feel from migraines. If you get like a shoulder strain, there's another portion. And it's all mapped out. It's like a zone. They call these areas all zones. So each area has its own, section that it actually deals with. What are your thoughts about that? Have you heard of it before?
It's like I have heard like acupuncture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
So it's zone therapy. So basically, touching this pressure point can like alleviate something else.
I mean, once you think about it, you're like, does it really do it?
It actually does.
I feel like
Believe
if
it or
doesn't,
not.
I'll be like, oh damn, like it works.
Yeah, believe it or not, like so, like like I said, just like I was talking about earlier, like being barefoot, being in grass, right? That feeling that you get is different from when you're wearing shoes.
Mm-hmm.
You're wearing shoes, like you don't really feel anything, right? But when you're touching the grass and you're kind of just like letting that energy get back in, it's a different feeling altogether.
I love it.
Absolutely. So with that being said, how ticklish do you tend to be?
A lot.
Really?
Like really
What are we
ticklish.
talking? Scale
Like
of 1
I've
to 10.
kicked the pedicures before.
Okay, so I have a trick for you if you wanna learn it.
What is it?
So do you mind if we test it on camera first?
Sure.
And I'm gonna teach you the trick. Okay, here we go. All right.
I'm scared.
It's gonna be okay. So here we go. We're gonna start with the right one first. All right, 1, 2, 3, and try to hold it there. Okay. Try to stay in there. We're gonna try to hold it for 5 seconds. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And where is it most ticklish at?
Like the middle part.
The middle. Okay. Let's try the left. Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, and
Okay, it's ticklish, but
This
not
one's
as
less.
ticklish.
this one's less. Are you
Yeah.
right-handed?
Yeah.
That's why. Okay. So right in there though. So let me show you a trick. Okay. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your
Okay.
toes here. Like moving back and forth.
Oh my
Less,
god.
right?
Yes.
You know why?
Why?
Your muscles are in motion, so
Uh-huh.
it can't pick up on the different sensations that it's feeling, right? Because you're
Oh.
moving. So you go to the pedicure and they're like, just kind of give your toes a little wiggle. You won't feel it as much. Try it here. Wiggle. Less,
oh my
right?
god. It worked.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. So yeah, that's what I try to go out and give this information.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Let me get you to cross your leg over. Keep your legs like there you go. All right. So look, you got another freebie today. I'm giving you all these freebies today, right? All right, and cross the other way. All right. And then let me get you to do a couple moves. Put your feet back side by side. Oh no, stretch your legs out side by side. Okay. And let me get you to bend your toes over, make a fist. Tell me if you feel any pain or discomfort from that. Is it hard to do?
It's a little hard
It's a little
to keep
hard
them
to do?
straight.
You probably don't stretch your muscles in your feet enough. So that's
I
probably
don't.
why. Okay, do me a favor. Spread your toes. Tell me if you feel any pain or discomfort from that. Pain,
No.
discomfort. Okay, relax. Wiggle your toes for about 10 seconds. Tell me if you feel any pain or discomfort. No? Easy?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's wrap this interview up now.
Okay.
In terms of my approach, when I walked up and I asked you to do the interview, was it good? Was it bad? What were your thoughts about my approach?
It was good. It was like unexpected.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, I have time.
Cool. And in terms of the interview, start to finish, did you see how everything was going in a line?
Mm-hmm.
Did it make sense to you, and did you learn anything new?
It did. It's like it just flew,
Mhm.
and then you gave me some tips,
Absolutely.
and then we're here.
Cool. So the last thing I should do, from a mental health standpoint, a life lesson that you probably learned from somebody or some wise words somebody said to you, you could say to my channel that could be helpful.
A counselor here told me that. What did she tell me? She said, "Was it a goal or a dream? A dream is just a dream without a goal." No, or what was it? Give me a second. What did she say? A goal is just a dream. A goal is just a dream without. What's that thing called?
What's that?
Like a plan.
A plan.
A dream.
It's just
A dream is just a goal without a plan.
I see. Okay.
There we go.
That's pretty nice. I like
Yes.
that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you stopping, going through this whole process, and we hope that you have a great one. Okay.
Thank you.